In this video, we're going to look at solving problems with vertical angles. Keep in mind, vertical angles are created when I take two lines and I cross them. So here we have line AD crossed with line CE, and we have two pairs of vertical angles that are created. Remember, vertical angles are directly across from each other. So we have angle ABC and angle DBE directly across from each other and equal to each other. And then we also have the pair ABE and CBD that are vertical angles directly across from each other and equal to each other. In this problem, we have a skewed intersection has two roads that intersect at more than 20 degrees away from 90. Determine whether the road intersection shown is skewed by finding the measures of angles ABC and DBE, the angles that are directly across from each other, and we are given some of their measurements. So our first step is to figure out what does this mean. Well, we say 20 degrees away from 90, and it lets us know that it is more. Remember, more means that we are going to add. So we are looking for vertical angles that are 20 plus 90 equal to 110 degrees. So a skewed intersection has two roads that are more than 20 degrees, which means we're going to be looking for vertical angles that are greater than 110 degrees. So is there more than one answer? Yeah. We can have a pair of vertical angles that are 111 degrees. We can have them that's 120 degrees. We can have a whole bunch of different possibilities. So yes, there is more than one answer here. So step 2 is to recognize that angle ABC and DBE are vertical angles, which means they're equal to each other. So we're going to substitute in the value for each angle from the problem. So we have x plus 35 for angle ABC, and for angle DBE, we have 2x minus 10. So once we have our equation, now we can go ahead and we can solve for our variable. In this instance, we have two variables, but they're on opposite sides. Whenever I have variables on opposite sides, think about which side has the variable that is greater. So on my right side, I have 2x, which is greater than just my x on my left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract the x from my left-hand side since my right-hand side is greater. So my right-hand side will have x minus 10. And my left-hand side, the x's canceled out, and I'm left with 35. Now I have my x only on one side. So I can go ahead and start doing my inverse operations. So I'm going to add 10 to both sides. And in this case, I find out that 45 is equal to x, or x is equal to 45. Now I've solved one part of my problem. I know what x is equal to. In the next part of my problem, I'm going to substitute the value of 45 in order to calculate the value of each of the angles. So I have 45 plus 35 is equal to 80. Then I have 2 times 45 minus 10. 2 times 45 is equal to 90. Minus 10 is also equal to 80. This is good because this means that my two vertical angles are indeed equal to each other, which we wanted to check. So both of these are 80 degrees. Now I can go ahead and I can try to figure out what are the measurements of my leftover angles. Keep in mind that right here I have a line, which means that angle ABE plus angle ABC should equal 180 degrees. Again, these are supplementary angles. So I have 180 minus the 80 degrees from angle ABC is equal to 100 degrees. And because angle ABE and angle CDB are also vertical angles, I know that they are equal to each other as well. Keep in mind, the original part of my problem was to try to find, do I have a skewed intersection? And remember, in order for this to happen, my angles have to be greater than 110 degrees. So in this case, none of my angles are greater than 110 degrees. So I do not have a skewed intersection.